everyone, welcome to today's market strip down session. So we can see last week's analysis here, maybe with the addition of a few structure points that I added in. I was expecting a push up to here, which we had. We actually had a new all-time high created on this wick. We then pulled off of it nicely, pushed back up, just went shy of that level, and then just dropped aggressively from that point. We can actually see that we went further than where I was expecting. I was only expecting a wick fill down to here, but we went another 300 pips, 320 pips more or less. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less actually. I think it was about 280 pips if my math is mathing, or 300, I'm not sure. Anyways, let's clear this off and let's start the week fresh. Let's go up to the monthly, see how the monthly candle closed, because obviously we did have a monthly candle closure. So we have very strong rejection, but something to pay attention to is that we did close above this previous level over here. Not only the last week, but not only 2 weeks ago, sorry, but the last week as well. If we go to the weekly now, let's adjust this level here, and we can see that we've had 5 weeks above that level with a strong rejection on this last week. It's making me feel like we might have a push up, which, to be honest with you, I was sort of expecting anyways. I mean, if we were to look at just this structure on the monthly, if this was on the 5-minute or 15-minute, 30-minute, we'd be looking at multiple candles here rejecting before heading down. So we have to treat that the same way, which means that we could go into quite a decent phase of accumulation here, unless there is some sort of upper wick formed and then a rejection. I mean, this next coming week will give us a really good insight as to all of that. I don't think that we'll head back down to there just yet. I think that we have some time before we get there. That's a good level to look at there. Nice structure point to pay attention to. Well, we did close below it, then Friday used it as resistance and continued downwards, but it did close with a large lower wick, which makes me think that we could potentially see a lower wick formed on the new daily and then a reversal back up above that level. If we look now on the 4-hour, some levels to look for would be this. Some other points, so we can see that structure broke here, closed below it, used it as resistance, used both of those levels as resistance. Actually, let me fine tune that one as well. We can see we used both of those levels as resistance and then continued bearish, strong. You can actually see here on the 4-hour, directly from the course. It just closed below. It was just slightly closed below. We have this line here at this low is at 28.3408, and this candle closed at about 25 pips more or less below. Doesn't look like it, it's hard to see, but it did close. No, sorry, what am I saying? 2.5 pips. Am I right, or am I 33.83 and 34? No, sorry, 2.5 pips. If I'm calculating, I think I'm right on that one. 2.5 pips below that level. It's a close. A close is a close. It doesn't matter. And then we gap down about a pip or half a pip from there, and then close back above. So I mean, this would be, again, doesn't matter how much or little it does it. This is a fake break of structure. We have structure here. We close below it. The next one goes back above. That equals a fake break of structure. And we continued bullish from there. I am going to add in some key levels back in here, some key points for us to pay attention to and to look for, and obviously one more there. I mean, even here we can see that we had a close That closed below. We closed below. The next one closed below. This would definitely fake some people into taking buying positions, and we had a strong push away, and then reversal back up. This is a strong candle formation, but again, it's all about context, right? We have to look that we have a structure over here. We closed below it. This next one, even though it is a strong rejection, and in other cases could be a strong reversal point for a buy. This one was not that case. Why? Because we had two candle closes below structure. We already know that that equals not a fake break of structure, but a clear break of structure. We then filled that wick and continued down to the next strong level of structure there. Excuse the noise in the background. For me, honestly, I don't even really need to go down to the lower time frames. We have a nice railroad track though here. Came back down, used that support. I mean, my analysis just from the higher time frames, it's looking like it's going to be something like this coming week. I don't think that we'll have a complete push down to there, but it is potential for that, and I'd be looking for something like this coming week. I'd really be paying attention for one of these two to play out. I think that it's not going to be as big as a moving week. We did have a very big week last week. If we look, we use this new all-time high. We're looking at 1,230-ish pips. So even if we do have a ranging, quote-unquote ranging week, or a trend, not a trending week, but not as big as a week as we had last week, I think that we will have a push up, and we'll still have a big week. I mean, even if we, let's just say, even from current market price close to that point, we're still looking at a 600 pip range for the week. It'll be interesting to see how the market moves. It's another strong point of interest that we can pay attention to. I mean, if we break this, the next level of structure is down here, 2807, 2807.15, and then obviously we go down 2790, so about 180 pips past that. But I don't think we could see a fake break of this. We could even see a strong lower wick through this. Maybe retest this level right here, this area of resistance that could now act as support down at the 2828. So I mean, I would have to see a strong close below the 28. We'll say 28 even. I would have to see two 4-hour candles close below that to be potentially taking sells. I'm not looking for any sells, even though we have had a strong bearish move. I'm going to be looking for ranging market conditions, and I'm also going to be looking for buys. I'm not going to be looking for any sells, at least for this coming week, unless, again, like I said, we break and have two 4-hour candle closes below the 2828. I'm not interested in sells. I'm going to be looking for the lower wick on the weekly to be formed and a push up, and then maybe if we get up into this area and we start to see rejection, then you can sell. But again, if we just return back to the weekly quickly, we have to, even if my analysis is completely wrong, we have to have a push up. At minimum, absolute bare minimum, we're hitting 2885, 2886 to create an upper wick on the weekly. So but again, the monthly has a strong rejection with a wick that will, again, the new monthly candle is going to open at market open in 4 hours. So again, all things to consider, context is very important. With that being said, I don't think that there's anything else to really look at. I mean, we could, again, maybe we don't have the push down first, maybe we have the push up first, and then maybe sells come into play and we push down, create a new low, and then come back up and go into a ranging market for the week. There's multiple different options, but this is the one that I'm going to be looking at to play out. With that being said, I hope you have a blessed, abundant, and amazing week ahead. God bless you all, and yeah, hopefully this brings you some insight and another solid week of analysis based on what I have predicted for the week ahead. Take care, brush your teeth, comb your hair, and ciao ciao. What's going on? Welcome to today's market strip down session. Well, this week's market strip down session. We can see last week's was pretty well spot on. We didn't have a complete pull down like I was expecting. We're about, 48? About 60, 70, 80 pips shy of the entry that I was looking for. But other than that, the rest of it was spot on, and it happened fairly quickly. It happened, completed the move by Tuesday, and I told you that I wasn't sure what was going to happen when it got up here. Reason being was because there was the potentiality of it going into a range of consolidation, which it has. Let's check out the higher time frames and see how everything is unfolding. Let's also get rid of all of the previous analysis so we can see March monthly, is obviously bullish. See the daily slight rejections, break back above this structure level here, which will fine tune on the lower time frames. We'll use this one for now. But we can see on the daily we did break back above this level. Say maybe even this one. We had a nice close above and then used as support, holding above it now. And I think if we are going to go bullish, I think we're going to have a situation like this where very little to no lower wick is formed, and then we continue bullish. But let's check the weekly actually. I mean, strong bearish weekly the week before. This week, once again, strong bullish. Not really worried about those daily rejections just yet. I would need a solid close below these previous wicks to really be looking for an overall sell bias. I mean, on the 4 hour, this one's very telling. So yeah, that was a good level there that we looked at right there. Can find another one a little bit higher as well right there. That's a very strong structure point. We bounced right off of it on that strong bearish engulfing, which I don't think will lead us into a bearish move, at least not immediately. We will have to have some sort of pull up regardless to create an upper wick on the weekly and on the daily. We can see also in this range, and we'll see it better on the lower time frames. We can see low, lower, low, lower, low, higher, low, higher, low. We'll probably push up, create a higher low somewhere around here. We have a nice structure point right here as well. Maybe this one's better. Let's see again. I mean, they're both good. Can use either one of those really. Put both of them. 16, about a 20 pip difference. It's a structure point that I'd be looking for to the high side. I mean, something very important is the 4 hour candle didn't close below the wick of the previous one. And obviously the last 4 hour candle closed bullish. So that's very telling. Very strong 1 hour candle did close above the wick of the previous one, which opens up the high side. We also did touch the 4 hour EMA. We're below the 1 hour EMA, but I mean, it's not a huge concern because we have been in a range. So I mean, that's That's understandable and acceptable at this exact moment based on the market conditions. Let's go back to the 4 hour for a second. So I mean, all-time high is this wick right here. We have obviously this previous all-time high right there, very little difference. So obviously we're going to use the all-time high. I mean, I could see us retargeting that, to be honest with you. And like I said, I don't think that we need to make a big, or if at all, a lower wick on the weekly or the daily on Monday. I even think that there's the potential that we do gap up at market open, and then continue bullish from there. Still a lot of uncertainties going on in the US economy and with president and stuff like that, which the tariffs, all this stuff gives us strength in gold. We had this push down from NFP, then a strong reversal, then another reversal back down, lost its steam. This lost its steam over the last few hours and then bottomed out, a nice push off. Similar to what happened here, nice push off and then continued bullish. Or over here, similar situation. Obviously fewer bearish candles, but same sort of situation. We had a push up, strong pull off, push up, strong pull off, and then we did at least retest that area, which again is why I'm telling you that I think that there's not 100% certainty, because nothing's 100% certain, but high chance that we make it up, at least up to there. I think that we could definitely minimum at least retest this structure point, 29.22, 29.23-ish. We can see, like I said earlier, low, lower low, lower low, higher low, higher low, strong push up, come back down, higher low, strong push up, come back down, higher low, strong push up, come back down, higher low, strong push up, new all-time high, come back down, use previous all-time high as a higher low. I mean, you do have to also remember that, I mean, we've had a run since December 18th or 19th, a bullish run. Where did it start? The 19th. Yeah, we've had small pullback, small pullback, small pullback, 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 consolidation, nice retracement. Did that reach a previous level? I don't think so. I don't think there was any previous level at this. It says 2033. Yeah, I don't think so, no, because that's the previous one. But I mean, a strong pullback, and then we're back into this area again. I think that we could this coming week we could retest all-time highs, potentially create a new all-time high and continue running. I mean, look, for me, as long as we're above this 4-hour EMA, which is the gold euro 4-hour EMA, not the gold dollar 4-hour EMA, gold euro 4-hour EMA, I'm not even really expecting a retest of this support, to be honest with you. I don't even think that it'll go that low. I think maybe I'm gonna go with my gut instinct, and I think that we're gonna have straight from market open. On this first push up, if we do break this level here at the 29.42, I don't think that we'll retest the all-time highs right away. I think that we will just break through that level, use it as support, and then or I guess I don't see bearish right now. I don't see any potentiality for a bearish move unless we get rejected here. I mean, look, unless through these areas we get rejected, then we can start to look for a bearish move down. Those are the only ways that I see the market playing out for this week ahead. I think that we will trend back up to strong push up and just failed all week while making higher lows to push back below that EMA. Strong push up, close above, came back down, use it as support, support. For me, the sell option is the least likely. This is the least likely one. For me, it's something like this. Maybe it comes up here and it creates a support here and bounces off here and then continues up, but it's very similar to this is what we're going to see happen this coming week, I'm sure. Obviously never 100% sure, but just from how the market's been moving. Yeah, it's my market strip down session for this week. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it brings us some insight and money. God bless you. Wishing you an abundant, blessed, and amazing week ahead. Take care, brush teeth, comb your hair. Ciao. What's going on? Welcome to another market strip down session. So we can see last week's analysis played out wonderfully. 4-hour load. That'll be great. We can see that we had a push down to start the week. We did go bullish from the open like I assumed. Got rejected a little bit lower than where I assumed. Pushed down just past the level where I was looking at, even though I wasn't really thinking that that was going to happen to start the week off. But we did have a push back up to that area, which revalidates this original analysis. We can see it pushed up, got rejected in this area like I assumed, pushed up, broke this level, used this level as support, and continued higher. And obviously didn't get rejected at either of those levels and continued bullish for the week. What are we looking at for this coming week? Let's clear off the analysis. Started the monthly because obviously we had a very strong bullish week. 2 new all-time highs. Last month did have a strong rejection, which leads me to think that we could have potentially some sort of pullback. So let's put that in there. Let's go down to the weekly now. We can fine tune this and put it there now. Which of the two is higher? Open high. 54, 56. Okay, so let's put it on this one. Yeah, that's the last February candle, and it's also higher of the two. 54.86, 56.16, yeah. So we had a weekly close above that structure, so that is February's all-time high and the previous all-time high, obviously, before the push up on Thursday. We can see a strong push up Thursday, Friday rejection with a daily candle closing bearish. There is no other previous levels to be watching for because again, this is all-time highs previously and now new all-time highs. It's also dropping a level there on Thursday's high of the day, which we can see we were holding below for the first 2 4-hour candles. Then we had a breakout, break back below, which could classify this on the 4-hour as a fake break of structure. Obviously, we're going to assume that even if we are going bearish, we have to retest this level, maybe even a little bit higher. So we'll start to look for other levels there. And I mean, this is the first, if it does go bearish, this is the first level to target previous all-time highs. We can see we broke it and we never had a clean retest, not even on the 1 hour, on the 30-minute, I don't think either. Literally nothing. So that is a good level to to target and to see how it reacts there. I mean, so that's about 45 pips from where we closed out the week. I wouldn't mind so honestly, those are the 3 levels that I'm going to be watching for this coming week. I mean, obviously, if we break these levels, we will almost certainly retest all-time highs. But I think we could see a rejection at these levels. So, I mean, where's the 4-hour EMA? Yeah, we're well far away from it and well below those previous all-time highs there. I mean, I'm going to be looking for rejection off of any of these 3 levels with the possibility of either breaking below, using it as resistance and continuing back lower, or maybe let's fix this a little bit. Or maybe we see something like this. And like this happen. Those are really the only plays that I see the possibility of. Previous all-time highs there. Obviously current all-time highs. We have to retest that structure, whether it's this week coming or the following week of the 21st, 22nd-ish. I'd be looking for a push-up and clear 1 hour rejections, multiple 1 hour rejections at any of these levels. If you get, I'd say anywhere from 2 to 5 1 hour candles being rejected and showing you a signal and confirmations for sells, very high probability. I wouldn't look for anything higher than this, to be honest with you, because then we're going into the territory of retesting previous all-time highs and creating new higher all-time highs, which could also happen. We could see a retest of this level, and then it does something like a fake breakout to trap some more buyers and then falls. But I don't think that that's really, unless we break these levels, that's the least likely one. But that's what I would be looking for this week ahead. Other than that, I don't really see anything, and that looks like the most probable of all the options. I'd say the highest probability one would be a bounce off of this level, even if it doesn't go all the way back up here, maybe halfway, something like that, back to 2970, and then a retest again if we see some rejection in that area, because we could see price pull down, break this level, retest it, use it as resistance, and then we'll have a support, resistance, a key level in between. If that forms, then that could be a point of interest for more sells. But other than that, I don't really see anything. I hope you enjoyed this market strip down session. I hope it brings you some insight and knowledge as to what could happen this coming week, and I'm wishing you a blessed and abundant week ahead. God bless. Take care. Bye. What's going on? Welcome to today's market strip down session. We can see last week's here. It played out slightly, the sells, but then got rejected at this support level from Friday. Ended up going up and breaking. Like I said, we can see that it broke and it retested rather than breaking and then coming back below. Let's actually put it on the 1 hour. I think we can see it a little bit better there. Yeah, it's all the same. That being said, I mean, yeah, we had a week of, it was what, Friday, so Monday, ranging, closed bullish. There's obviously the Monday candle open here. Tuesday, big push up. Wednesday, consolidated with a push up at the end of the day. Thursday, retracement, consolidation. Closed slightly bearish, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see now when we go to the daily. Friday, again, stayed in this range, and we can see it retested the EMA and dropped. Let's go through all the time frames and see what's going on. Refresh the brain. I mean, the monthly, unless we have a big weekly rejection this week. Let's put that there so we can see it on the lower time frames. Monthly still bullish. Okay, so now that we have that, we can adjust it. So we have February's highs there, which is the upper wick on the monthly. Let's go to the weekly actually. Let's add that in there. Weekly closed bullish above the previous wick. I mean, it's not. It is quite a bit. We're talking about 825 pips more or less, if I'm not mistaken. $725 apparently. I mean, it's, yeah, you have to go even closer to see the exact number, but I guess because it's on the weekly, it's such a big difference of one little pixel, literally 56.3, and I move it one pixel down, and it's like 25 pips. Anyways, unimportant news. Weekly, we closed bullish. Daily, we closed above Wednesday's lower wick. We did close bearish below the previous wick. So, I mean, we can add that in there. Okay, so let's adjust a few things here. Let's adjust that there. Let's put this here. We had to close back above Wednesday's low. Thursday's low. We're retesting it right now. Let's fine tune this. This one's fine because it's only one candle there. Okay, so where did price do here? So we did break below this, then we used it as a resistance on Friday. We gapped down at the open just now, 20 minutes ago. We have Wednesday, we have our resistance there from Wednesday. Wednesday's high is actually up here, which we can see that fake breakout, retracement back down, fake breakout in regards to this resistance, but we can see that it retested, made a new all-time high, and closed below previous high of the day. So we have a nice M formation that we'll see there on the lower time frame. It pulled off. I feel like this is an important level. Honestly, I would like to see price pull up to here. If we see price pull up to Tuesday's high, which clearly is a very strong level, it acted as resistance here, it acted as resistance here, here, it acted as support and resistance through here, then it came back up Friday again and held it as resistance. So although I don't think that we'll have, hold on, I just saw something actually. So we actually retested and held above. What would that have been? The previous Friday, right? Yeah, so we have the previous Friday's high of the day there. The price retested, got rejected, and bounced off of. And I feel like my analysis still stays the same regardless of that. This sell-off could happen here, or it could happen at this I guess the original high of the day before the last few hour push up on Wednesday. This resistance here from Wednesday, I'd be looking at sells from either one of those two areas. I think if it breaks this resistance from Wednesday, we'll go and retest all-time highs. But I think we're due for a little bit of a pullback and reset before we continue and retest all-time highs. So I would look for sells either off of Tuesday's high of the day or off of this high from Wednesday. Obviously, multiple confirmations, multiple candle rejections. We can then either push down and use not this last Friday, but the Friday before's high of the day as support again, like we did this last Friday. And we bounce and then come back, use this area as either resistance or break above it and come back up, or we have a situation like this where we break it I don't think that we make it all the way down there. We could. We definitely could. But we need to see it close below this structure there for continuation down to Friday's, or February's highs. Where February's highs are this line right here. We could make it. I'm not sure yet of the news this coming week. I haven't looked at that yet, so I can't take that into account, but we could make it down here if there is some sort of news. We won't have NFP this week. It'll be the next week based on the day right now. So yeah, I don't think that we make it all the way down there. We could, but right now I'd be looking for a setup like this. Sells off of this resistance from Friday and Tuesday's high of the day, or this resistance from Wednesday. I think if we break both of those, that we will retest all-time highs. So that's something to keep in mind. And then either a bounce from here, retracement, use this area as this previous structure as resistance and then continue down, or we just break through, retest, use this from 2 Fridays ago's high of the day, use it as a resistance, and then continue down. So for me, those are the options for this week. Obviously, again, if we see some resistance at all-time highs, take it from there, but it's always very risky selling at all-time highs because, as we see, we had all-time highs here last Friday. We broke it on this past Tuesday, 2 Fridays ago, and then we broke it this last Tuesday, and then just continued to run, right? So it's with the market condition and just how bullish gold is since the middle of December last year, it's very risky to sell at all-time highs unless there is multiple confirmations. So other than that, I'm wishing you all a blessed, abundant, and amazing week ahead, and I hope that this gives us some good insight for the week ahead. Take care, brush your teeth, comb your hair. Ciao, ciao. What's going on? Welcome to this week's market strip down session. Let's start with the monthly. Reason being is because we will be opening a new monthly candle. In about 24 hours. Market opened about 45 minutes ago. So I mean, the monthly we have a strong bullish. The weekly, I mean, we had small pullback first week of the month. Last 3 weeks I've just gone completely bullish. Sorry, this is actually still the monthly. My apologies. I thought I switched it. It is 4 consecutive Strong bullish candles, although the last one didn't really have an upper wick, so we could see price starting to slow down a little bit in the next week or so. Let's go to the daily. We can't really judge based off of current market conditions, well, current market price and candle formation, because the daily candle just opened, so we're not going to pay attention to that. We go down to the 4 hour. Strong consolidation in there throughout all of Friday. We did slowly move up and create higher lows, but we have after that, I mean, that push up, that initial push up at the start of the day Friday, we did just go into a slow upward range, we could say. I mean, let's look at that level there. If we were to adjust it, we could see that we did have a nice clean break there on the 4 hour. Close above, used it as support, and then continued up. So let's use that one, and then let's use the highest one there. Just adjust those a little bit there. So those again were 4 hour wicks there, back from Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, if not last week, the week before, which we did have marked that Wednesday high. We had it marked on the last market strip down as well. Maybe we can see low, higher low, higher low, and then price just broke out of it. Clean break. I mean, ultimately, the only setup that I'm really going to be looking for is if we see something like this happen. We have a break back below that structured area from Friday, and then the first target would be to break through. Inversely, we could have a pullback, and then I don't know, I'm just going to drop this anywhere, just create new all-time highs, or something like this. Back into this area from Thursday. I honestly really can't see anything else at this exact moment other than that. I mean, when you're creating new all-time highs, we can use the zones as targets, but yeah, there's nothing really. We just have a nice structure there, so we could also just use this as support. We come down, we have some candles try to break through it, fail, use this area as support, and then go from there and create new all-time highs. But I mean, as of now, the only actual setup that I'd be looking to trade is a close below these levels over here. Then we see price start to slow down, come back up, find a resistance somewhere in here, in these wicks, somewhere in there, and then fall, and then we either use that support from Friday, which is about, what is that, 86 down to about 230, 240 pips. That support down there, or we use this area in here as support, anywhere from this upper wick to that Wednesday high. So from 30, 60, we'll say about 80, 90 pips from 30, 60 down. Anywhere in that area we could use as support as well, and then rebound back up and have a ranging week, which could be a possibility since it will be the first week of the month. I mean, other than that, I don't really see anything that's just a possibility. I mean, we're currently at all-time highs. The market gapped at open. We had a gap up at market open, and then it spiked to 3100 almost, 3197, where the exact high is, yeah, 3197.7, well, 23 pips, we'll call it. $22.5 pips, 22.7 pips, 22.3 pips, whatever it is, from 3100. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, with price being at all-time highs right now, there's nothing that we can really trade other than that. Either we have a break below, use it as resistance once we see resistance and structure forming somewhere in here, maybe even a little bit lower, but somewhere in this area, structure forming as resistance. Then we can take sells down to, first target would be here, see if it gets rejected. Even this wick as well would be something interesting to watch for. On the 3073, 3074, 3072, somewhere in there. And then it could bounce, go up to all-time highs, or it could just push from here, all-time highs, but a lot of indecision that can happen in here. So for me, again, only thing that I'll be looking for is I'll break below strong structure and then target areas for sells, target areas below, obviously. First target in this wick range, somewhere on here. Second target, third, fourth, and then if we break those, go back down to this area over here around the 3033, 3034 area, somewhere in there. Other than that, I mean, if it doesn't come down, it's just gonna keep running and keep making new all-time highs, and we can't really predict where it'll stop. We would only use the EMAs and zones in that instance to be able to look for buys on pullbacks. And other than that, I don't see anything as of now, so I might do another one of these in the middle of the week and just see how the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's gone. Maybe New York session Wednesday I'll do one, so we can see how Monday, Tuesday went, and then London session Wednesday, and take it from there. But wishing you an abundant and blessed start to the week. God bless you all, and hope this brings us some insight as to what could happen, at least for the next few days. Like always, take care, brush teeth, comb your hair. Ciao, ciao.